Hello and welcome to our Year 1 Phonics Screening Workshop. Why do we teach phonics? We teach phonics to help children identify individual letter sounds and digraphs and help them to blend words. So cat becomes cat, and it also helps them to read new words that they haven't read before.
So some definitions for phonics is the phonemes is the smallest sound in a word, such as d, sh. A grapheme is the letters representing that sound. Segmenting is when we are sounding out, and blending is when we blend the sounds together again.
Some more definitions. So we've got a digraph, which is when two letters make one sound. We teach the children that there are consonant digraphs such as sh, k, and ul, and there are also lots of vowel digraphs that have to have at least one vowel. So for instance, a, e, I, r, oi, things like that. There's also trigraphs, where three letters come to make one sound, so I, j, and e.
There's also split digraphs, and this is a digraph which makes one sound but the letters are not together. That's A, E, O.
So how many sounds or phonemes are in each word? So as you can see, it's been broken down, each word has been broken down into its phonemes. So you've got the word shelf, which with its phonemes is sh, e, u, f. And that makes shelf. So even though you've got 5 letters, that only makes 4 sounds. And the same as you can see with all the other words, it's broken down into their phonemes. We also teach children that you can also spell the same sound in different ways. So you can have E as EE or EA, or you could have OI as OI or OY.
In Thorne Infant School, we teach read, write, ink as our main phonics scheme.
So what is the phonics screening check? So children year 1 across the country will all be taking part in the phonics screening check, and they do every year, and this year it will be at some point in the week of the 8th of June. Children in year 2 will also take the check if they have not passed it in year 1 or if they haven't taken the test before. The check is designed to confirm whether individual children have learnt phonic decoding and blending skills to an appropriate standard.
What happens in the check? The children have 40 words to read, and the teacher they'll sit with their teacher and read these words. They have about 10 minutes to do it in, but they can have a bit longer or a bit less if needed. There are about 20 real words and 20 alien words.
So as just mentioned, these pseudo words, or alien words as we sometimes call them in school, are words that the children will have not seen before. They are not real words, and these are included in the test to make sure that all pupils does not favour children who have a good vocabulary or good knowledge of words.
So what's allowed? Children can sound out words and blend them together, or just say it. So for instance, with the word cat, the child might say at cat, or they might just read the word cat without having to sound out. Self-correction is also allowed. So if a child sounds out a word wrong and blends it together incorrectly first, they are allowed to correct it themselves if they spot their mistake. We also take into account any difficulties with pronunciation that children might have, any speech difficulties, and once they've said each word, they'll receive some general impartial encouragement such as okay, thank you, next.
What is not allowed? Children are not allowed to say the phonemes without blending them, so they cannot say cat without saying cat altogether. They're not allowed to be encouraged to have another go, so if they haven't said it correctly, we won't ask them to have another try at it.
So previous issues that have happened in the test before is that some children will read nonsense words as real words. So if it's storm, they might say storm, which would not be acceptable. Unfamiliar with the vocabulary used in real words, and sometimes the adjacent consonants cause a bit of issue, such as strack might be read as stark.
So how will you find out? By the end of the summer term, all schools have to report each child's results to their parents. We'll also confirm with you whether they've passed the phonics screening test, and children who don't receive the expected level will retake the test when they're in year 2.
The results are also reported to Ofsted, and it's also to look across other schools to see if we can see how our performance is against other schools.
How can I help my child at home? So it's great if you could play lots of sound and listening games with your child. Phonics Play is a great resource. Read with your child as much as possible. Encourage and praise them. Encourage them to decode words that they do not know, and discuss meanings of words and enrich their vocabulary.
So there are lots and lots of good resources on iPads and tablets and phones and things. So on the App Store, you've got lots of things like Hairy Phonics, Hooked on Phonics, Phonics Sound Match games, Pirate Phonics, things like that. There are also some great resources like Phonics Play is a free website. There is a subscription part of it, but there are lots of free fun games that children can play, and we enjoy using them in school. Also on YouTube, you've got Mr. Thorne does phonics, and he does some lovely videos going through different sounds and reading those sounds.
If you have any questions, please contact us if you would like to.